Hello everyone, this is Kyle Mossman with the TLS team at USF, and this is the second video in a series of videos on how to clean up your course after it's been imported from Blackboard. So in our last video, if you haven't watched it, we imported content from our old Blackboard courses into our new Canvas course shell. So this is my sandbox. I've imported an accounting class from fall 2016 into it, and kind of going to survey it in this video and then talk about the very first steps we need to take to clean up some of the material. So just right away, you can tell in this first module that this course had been imported on top of itself more than once in Blackboard. So you can see that here, that there are multiple course overviews, 1 and 2, multiple course introductions, probably multiple course roadmaps. Canvas always demarcates the duplicate modules or pages with numbers. So 2 is not actually that bad. At a previous institution, people would just copy their stuff over and over, and it will just keep adding on top of itself. So that's something to think about. When you import content into a course, perhaps you want to clear out that course in the beginning so you don't duplicate so much work or duplicate so much content, and then you have to go through and delete it all. So one thing you can just do, clean up this stuff right away, is, check it to make sure that the content is the same. It looks like this professor just kind of put these course overviews in here to fill in on a per semester basis, wrote a little directions for himself, and let's see, make sure this one's the exact same. Course review, overview 2, and it says the exact same stuff. So this is just duplicate material. It's just something that you want to get rid of right away, probably. So one thing that's important to remember in Canvas is if your student wants to see this course right away, the green check marks means that it would be visible to them. Click on this. We're going to remove it. Notice it says remove and not delete. So we're just removing this from the modules page. So this course overview 2 will still be in this course. If we wanted to fully delete it, we would remove it here. So it's not here anymore. You would then need to go into Pages, find course overview 2. You can see that it has not actually been deleted. It was just removed from the modules student view, and then click delete. So doing that will ensure when you copy the course again that that course overview 2 is not transferred a second time to your new course. So you just the first thing I would do is go through and delete all these duplicate pages that you have that are student facing. I would actually just delete them for good in the pages unless you think you're going to make some changes or something along those lines. Going down, you can see a lot of this kind of stuff that was brought over, general course policies, textbooks and materials, links. So anything that's a link potentially is not going to work well with the migration. So let's click on the student handbook. You can see that the link, the way that it was set up is you made a link inside Blackboard, and Blackboard kind of attached its own little software, LTI, that kind of stuff, script to it. And so it looks a little odd in here. It's not even going to pull up on this screen. If you click this, will open it up in a new tab. You're just going to have to go in and redo those. There's really nothing you can do. This course has a lot of those. So that's a lot of work. This course is actually incredibly messy comparatively to some of the others. So like this link here, we'll talk more about those when we get down. I just kind of want to go top to bottom. So you can see course content assignments. It looks like this must have been some sort of section or file in Blackboard, and it is just an empty shell here. So say you go down and you find these course content assignments wherever you think they are. If you like divvying them up that way, course content, just the dragging is just grab those 8 dots in a line and you can drag it around. The modules work the same way. So if we wanted this below, higher up, you can kind of see where it'll just pop into place for you. But that's just empty. And so maybe in Canvas, you want to move away from doing course content assignments and you want to move to more of like a week by week basis. Canvas is set up to work in a more chronological fashion than just these random subsections and assignments, readings, presentations, that kind of stuff. A lot of people did that in Blackboard. Canvas is definitely more set up to do like a week by week. Like it's week 2. This is reading 2, assignment 2, quiz 2. So maybe you just want to go ahead and delete that, and that's super simple. Again, you just click on this right hand side and hit delete. So moving on down, this teacher did a bunch of attachments. So attachments, or the little paperclip, that is a file. So the teacher had uploaded a bunch of files into Blackboard and then made those files student facing. So all those came over with the migration. If you want to see what they look like, or if you want to see and make sure, check on all of your files. Files is over here on your left-hand toolbar. You could click in there, and it's going to give you a long list of all the docs. You can see here that they have some Excel files, some Word files. I'm sure there's some PDFs in here. Probably the syllabus is a PDF. So all those files came over, and when you made those files, those students can see those files in your Blackboard course, so they can see them here in the migration too. So, I don't know anything about this course, but maybe you probably don't want to let students see the solution right away. You could unpublish that. So, yeah, click on publish, update. Great. So these are all files, again, kind of moving along here. Another empty module. So you'll either want to, if you want this course resource, you'll either want to add things to this module or just go ahead and delete it. I would recommend just deleting them. Great. You see that they put all the PowerPoints together, videos. Okay, so this class used some sort of video embedded feature in Blackboard, and those came over imported, but they also look really bad. So let's just click on this one, record inventory transactions. Great. So again, it's that same problem, just like the file or that link in the very beginning. So I think this one will actually open up. And so it looks like they've used some sort of MP4 file or something like that to make this visible. I would recommend just going in and redoing those. You should still have the video files, and they should be incredibly easy to upload. Just upload them as a regular file in here and then link to that content on your home page. So this students may have access to this. It might not even work for a student. We actually haven't tested it, but all those files like that are going to need to be not redone, but at least re-added to the course. So that's something to be aware of if you have that in your Blackboard courses. Just on that same topic of videos, we are integrating VoiceThread through an LTI with our Canvas course. So if all of your courses are through VoiceThread, that is not a problem. That is not what these are. These are not VoiceThread. These are separate, just a video file alone. VoiceThread files should work seamlessly just like they do on Blackboard. Canvas also has Arc, which is a proprietary, I believe, video storage system that works a lot like VoiceThread. So if you don't know anything about Arc and you'd like to learn more, please contact the TLS team or just do a little bit of research on your own. It works very similarly to VoiceThread, where you can add some comments, attach it to assignments, do discussion questions, etc. like that. But VoiceThread is staying as well. If you've already done a lot of work making lectures in VoiceThread, they are not going to go away. So just kind of can come down here, just moving on. The one thing I want to point out is something that happened in the migration is that all of those items that were on the left-hand toolbar of Blackboard, kind of like what we considered the Blackboard template, those all came over as modules and pages or links in Canvas. So these previously would link you to the different schools. If that was a useful thing to you in Blackboard, maybe you want to recreate that in your course and you can go right ahead. But we are, like administration is not going to put that in the left-hand bar again. So, but they still came into your course. So what you're going to want to do, what I would recommend doing is just going ahead and deleting those. So I don't think every student needs a link to every single school. Again, university resources, I'll just come in here and delete these. Great. So you can see a bunch of this kind of stuff, the netiquette, online writing help. This might have been something that the teacher did. This might have been something that was just a part of that Blackboard template. I'm not sure. I actually didn't do a ton of work in there. But yeah, so just go through. Again, with these links, they work, but they just look really unfortunate. So here's a CNN link. If I click on this, it will take me to CNN, but you could also just redo that file and then the student will, be able to get to the link right away if you really want your students to be able to link to CNN. So yeah, so just going through here, you can delete stuff that's duplicated, delete stuff that's not useful to you, and I'm gonna have to re-add the things you do. The nice thing is you can delete entire things by clicking this and clicking delete. So it kind of looks like a lot and it looks like a mess because it dragged all that left-hand toolbar information over from Blackboard, but actually deleting it will not take you an incredible amount of time, which I suggest you do. So Canvas has a tendency to get lengthy with the scrolling, but remember that students will only see the things that you have green check marks. So, if they're only going to get through chapter 8, the first midterm, maybe don't even publish chapter 9 until week 8, just to kind of cut down on the amount of chapters they're going to get to or be able to see. If you unpublish this, all of these items here would not be visible. So it's like nested. So these are all nested under chapter 9. So if you unpublish chapter 9, no student will be able to see this information. Anyway, that's like the first step after importing your content that you really need to do. Just kind of go into your modules, make sure the appropriate things are published, and make sure there's not a lot of duplications. Check your files and your videos, re-add the links if you need them. The add button is right here. If you're unsure of how to do that, type in something like Canvas Commons adding pages. You'll be adding a lot of pages primarily. So, come in here. Like I said, you wanted to re-add those video files or something. This will link right to that file directory that's in your left-hand toolbar. You'll be able to select your file and then add it. So thanks for listening. The next video will cover editing due dates in your newly imported course.